2024 has officially ended, and you know what that means? The era of Gen Alpha is also officially gone. You know, the iPad generation, the one that gave us all of these lovely trends. However, although I say gone, I really mean that Generation Beta will be the babies of the world, and I thought, what's a better way to celebrate this milestone than by reminiscing on all the Gen Alpha created bread, mass created ideas? So, without further ado, let's start with the list.
Got your gyatt for the Rizzler. You're so skibidi.
Mewing / Lookmaxxing. So these terms actually originated from Laura Farquaad's slimiest latrine, because Lookmaxxing originated from a male incel message board back in 2010. The idea was to maximize your appearance so you could, pull some bitches, because it was definitely your looks that was holding you back. So in their eyes, the only way to fix that is to look like a peak male specimen, aka strong jawline, upturned hunter's eyes, unblemished smooth as a baby's bottom skin, six-pack abs, etc, etc, etc. That term pretty much stayed on the DL until our favorite clock app brought it back from the trenches. As social media does, the teenage mans could not get enough of this. But what if you weren't blessed with the face of our Lord and Savior? Well, fear not, because let's begrudgingly go back to that stall and pick up a technique that will help us look snatched in no time. So I thought it would be fun to do it together by watching this tutorial. Another thing you should know is that this technique was created by an expelled orthodontist. It was expelled because he created a system that posed harm to child patients because it didn't work. Did that deter anyone though? Of course not, because the teenager boys couldn't stop eating it up, and they said, let's spread its powerful effects and even help others out who may need some help. Lookmaxxing. So let's spread that Lookmaxxing secret recipe. So if anyone has done this to you, it doesn't mean please be quiet. It actually is them looking out for you, because they want you to get 1,000 million aura points. No one wants you to be a Sigma. And now that takes me to the next topic, the social pecking order of the Gen Alpha scene.
Take me to your Xbox to play Fortnite today.
Until Gen Z were in the scene, to join the cool kids club, you had to be your, typical cheerleader, jocks, blah, blah, blah. Gen Z actually changed it up, because you aren't really cool if you're mean, crazy, like Dave Franco showcased in the first 21 Jump Street. Caring about your future and saving the environment, and also knowing about life outside your little small town, might actually get you some brownie points. I'm sorry, more points. But being smart and politically active is only the first part of the equation, because you actually need Riz to really, succeed in the world. Riz, which is short for charisma. But how do you have Riz in Gen Alpha's mind? I think the best way to showcase this to you is to do a little like a Venn diagram. Exhibit A, Kai Cenat has Riz, a streamer who actually popularized this term in 2021-ish. But does that mean all streamers have Riz? No, because I'd argue XQC doesn't really have anything, because no one understands what he's saying.
Hey, the game government no getting no one in the best sample, no give my 3D.
I have no idea what the fuck you're saying right now.
Next up, we have Andrew Garfield, one of the two British Spider-Man. He's a smooth talker who also has bagged Emma Stone. And even though they're not together still, they're still on good terms, which is like, okay. Exhibit B, Tom Holland is with Zendaya, and she has so much Riz, so by association, he's also on the list. But does that mean all Spider-Man have Riz? No, because let's look at the one American on this list.
Spider-Pig, Spider-Pig, does whatever.
Okay, one more. We have a tricky one. Who do you think has more Riz? One has gotten with a princess turned ogre, whilst the other got with a motherfucking dragon. Shrek has a whole ass swap, while Donkey has kids with a dragon. I tried looking online for this one and got mixed results, because maybe they have Riz, maybe they both don't, I don't know. So let me know what you think in the comments. But in conclusion, this Venn diagram should be a great way to understand what Riz actually means.
Didn't even notice, no punches left to roll with. You got to keep me focused, you wanna say so.
Sephora Kids. So kids in makeup have always been inseparable. They're like peanut butter and jelly, because once you started realizing your mom might be telling you you only look beautiful because she kind of has to.
Is that hyperpigmentation?
The innate urge to turn into a different person is only inevitable. But what makes Gen Alpha different is that with social media, the sources of what's in and what's out are kind of blurred. So history lesson time. From a primary source, of course. Before, you might have all the late high school to post-college students keeping up with the trends through MySpace, Vogue, Sex and the City, fashion apparel stores like Zara, H&M, Forever 21. They also started listening to more fringe content, so you have some like niche, like indie sleaze, hip-hop, chav, prep scene. So whatever you see in Total Drama Season 1 as stereotypes. The preteens, who are like middle schoolish age, they started having brain cells to understand that they need to ask their mom to not drop them off in the mall's front entrance because someone from 4th period might see them. So they got their trends through magazines, probably like 17, pop culture icons, Justin Bieber, Kohl's, Aeropostale, Macy's, J14. They just weren't doing anything super crazy, but they had some independence in them. For the elementary school kids, so primary school 5 to 10, they were isolated to justice, limited to whatever Mitchell Musso was wearing here and whatever was popping off in Club Penguin and Neopets. So how does that relate to Gen Alpha? With the rise of social media, the Gen Alpha kids are gaining the balls to rock whatever the older influencers are saying to them because they're fed this content, it's being normalized, and you see the connection here. This all culminates into a positive tornado feedback loop, which increases the phenomenon because kids are fed this idea and they need to look a certain way, which in turn make kids' tailored brands go out of existence. The cycle continues and continues. We can also include the effects of streaming into this, but I'll do that in a later video if you want me to. But how does that relate to Sephora Kids? So with makeup and kids going hand in hand, you end up with situations like this.
Hey everyone, it's Brooklyn, and let's do my morning skincare routine using Everyden. The packaging is so cute.
And this! Oh gosh!
I asked the worker if they have anything similar, and a nice shimmery lip gloss that is clear. And then she said yes, something for 22. And I asked, is it a lip gloss? And she said no. Please, I pinky promise I'll pay you back.
What?
This
What?
will mean a lot to me.
No, bro.
Y'all kids can't read anymore. That's all I'm gonna say about this. Okay, I might say a bit more, but the gist is blah blah social media, blah blah attention span, blah blah iPad kids. But also mix that with everything, at least in North America, being done on Chromebooks. It's easy to copy and paste internet answers into their homework assignments and autocorrecting spelling and grammar. So yeah, the current teaching system isn't helping. I also can't fault these kids because I downloaded a Google Chrome extension to watch Galvanize Score Skills and Wood Veneers on 3x speed because 2x speed wasn't enough. But hold up. You might think, okay, maybe kids can't read. The robots will do that for you. So at least they're going to have all the media literacy in the world? Nope. Because what does your grandma living in rural Kansas that still takes all her selfies like this and a Gen Alpha kid have in common? They both still are falling for the AI-generated TikTok shop GeoCups.
Breaking news!
Do not drink out of this because resin is not food safe and real geodes are porous, aka the liquid would have sweated everywhere before it entered your mouth. In conclusion, we cooked.
Give me a 5-minute head start.
Except we have who the Gen Alphas see as their teen heartthrobs. Like the Who Will Tiger Beat and J14 interview next?
Once we found out it was diabetes.
And I'm sorry to say, but the age of the overwhelming teeny bopper is over. Because of technology, we have different mainstream subgenres. I've broken them down into 5 categories. The first is the closest to the teen idol, the K-pop idol. I know it seems like forever ago, but before the boys were on hiatus, BTS was everywhere. And who could forget the one-hit wonders, 50/50, and the potentially 2-hit wonders, New Jeans. The next category is the brain rot influencers. You know, the ones that are causing this? And sorry for the jump scare, we have a modern day Ryan surprise toy out here. Like at my local Target, they are still advertising him at his peaks. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with his looks. What I'm actually saying is, look at him. He looks exactly the age he should be. His voice has dropped. He's growing his first stash and he needs a break.
Well, usually we film on the weekends because that's when I have the most time. because like other days I have school and then extracurricular activities. So yeah, that's usually when I film.
I just say take the 25 million you've made, put it into a 529 plan because education, and chill. Chill for the rest of your life. I would want that. Jinkies. Other interesting contenders for this category include the Rizzlers, whose parents are also involved, of course.
We bring the boom. That's what we. Booms.
Okay. Boom. Okay. Yeah. Boom. Yeah. 5 booms. Yeah. Okay. So now.
Mr. Beast and this guy. The next category is something that honestly I'm not too well versed in, but the Twitch streamers. This fanum tag actually originated from this group here. Laura's, this individual, Fanum, would go and ask/take food from others in a friendly way that turned into the food tax or the fanum tax. Also, whoever told that to my mom, I have forever beef with you because tax time is not her favorite cheat meal, and guess who has to order another set of fries because it wasn't enough. The other group of real people are the movie stars / musicians. Honestly, I don't think this type of genre has changed that much. You definitely have the introduction of the influencers turned business person, Emma Chamberlain, for example. But that kind of came about because of the Gen Z influence in the 2010s with the Team 10 hypebeast culture.
It's every day, bro. I said it's every day, bro.
Kids are still rocking to Sabrina Carpenter, Taylor Swift, and Olivia Rodrigo, so I don't know if this will change much in the future too. Gen Alphas are also surprisingly well versed in the Kendrick v. Drake beef if they're in middle school / high school. Lastly, the traditional cartoons that shaped these kids' childhood. Honestly, Bluey. Very good, very educational. I don't know if it will stick that way with the creator stepping down, however. And Frozen, she can definitely throw it back. But the defiance was surely planted with some of these because who remembers these two?
This. Jinkies.
Someone needs to vet what is put out on YouTube Kids because I have watched way too many hours of this type of content while it's babysitting.
You know, they want to meet you on this film.
Yeah.
And it's the Emoji movie. It's a movie about emojis. And I said, why?
Last thing I want to talk about is the evolution of the emoji. Ironic is definitely the word to describe them, and if you are in the know, emojis can definitely add another layer of subtext that's hard to get through text. From this BuzzFeed article, because apparently the site still exists, this is a definition of every emoji. But what do you think is the most Gen Alpha trend? Are there any that you think was a cultural reset? Let me know if I missed any in the comments, and thank you to the 2% of y'all for getting to this part of the video. I will see you on the next one.
Tyler, would you like to go on a date with me?
But we friends though.
You're right.
Yeah, we friends.
You're right.